Yo, Hide Yuki here. The rebelling rose, the messenger of facts, the one born to be berserk, the one chained to oblivion, returning yet again with another great video. Today, I wanted to go over my top 10 greatest anime of all time. And after I made that incredible fact spitting video, just calling out all the bullshit that was going on with anime of 2025, I did promise that I was going to make a top 10 list. I did promise I was going to make some more recommendations. And that's exactly what we're set out to do. So let's waste no time. Let's get right into it. First up on the list, we have Escaflowne. Boy, oh boy, this is a anime for the ages, man. This is one of those rare times where you combine something like mecha and isekai, and it just works beautifully because this is back when creators actually cared about writing a great story, having memorable characters, and not being on bullshit, right? So basically, with this anime, you have Von Fannel, uh, you know, being the king and what have you, and he's also a draconian, right, and is able to pilot this Escaflowne mech. So you have this world where it's a mix of fantasy, mix of old technology, kind of like a Final Fantasy kind of setting, right? And then you have this girl that does fortune telling, and she basically meets up with him, and they're trying to stop this crazed mad scientist uh, from basically taking over the entire world, right? It's completely fucked up. He has complete control of everything in the land, and he's basically trying to control fate. He's trying to control fate itself and alter fate, and he's willing to fuck up people's lives just for that. Such an incredible story, man. The animation is stellar here. The soundtrack, oh man, that soundtrack, man. Whoo boy, now that is some greatness right there. The orchestra for this, every time they go, Esca Flone, boy, that stuff be hidden, man. That's what I'm talking about, man. But anyways, with that being said, let's move on. Next up on the list, we have Final Fantasy VII Advent Children. Now, you're probably thinking, what the fuck, Yuki? Why the hell is this edgy emo garbage on the list? Listen here. I've noticed that a lot of people are running their mouths about shows like To Be Hero X, anything that has any look of CGI, like with Chainsaw Man. They actually believe that the CGI in Chainsaw Man looks good, that the CGI in this show and the next show looks good. But when you look at something like Advent Children, isn't the CGI amazing? This is what real CGI is supposed to look like, man. Not no uh, cel shaded, botched up garbage. No, this is the real shit. Boy, this movie is 20 years old and it completely obliterates any anime of today with CGI. And that's straight facts. There's no opinions there. That is absolute facts, man. And either way, I do enjoy Advent Children a lot. I do think it is still the greatest CGI movie of all time, even better than the Harlock movie. And I love Captain Harlock. I've been a big fan of Harlock for a while now, but you know, I'm not gonna hold you. This movie is incredible, man. It's great to see a post FF7 story after Sephiroth's wrath, and then you have Cloud being traumatized. Um, he's just kind of a wanderer now. He doesn't know what his new purpose is. And then with Sephiroth coming back, it's like, oh god damn, the trauma is kicking in. This man, truly went through some shit. And that's what I like about this movie. I'm glad that they did this. It's cool to see Cloud vulnerable, and get to see him more of an actual character. But yeah. Anyways, moving on. Next up on the list, we have Angel Cop. Man, oh man, this is a great anime, man. A very cool OVA series. If you're looking for something of the 80s and 90s that is just completely amazing, great animation, great music, um, and everything else in between, then to look no further. You have these crazy rampage psychics running around, and she's got to put a stop to them all. Just an enjoyable OVA, man. Great stuff, great stuff. Next up on the list, we have Boogie Pop Phantom. Now, this show I have been vouching for years, man. It's an incredible horror anime, and it's definitely one of the best I've seen. You know, there's a lot of great horror anime out there, and this is definitely one of the best. Uh, and this is one of those rare times where it's a slow anime that works. Because sometimes the thing with slow, pretentious anime, it's like, okay, is it actually rewatchable? Is it actually worth your time? But with Boogie Pop Phantom, it takes a different approach. You know, it doesn't bore you. It's actually horrifying. There's so many episodes in here where I'm like, God damn, that shit is scary as fuck. You know, and it's still relevant to today. The show is 25 years old and it's still relevant. It's insane. But anyways, moving on. Next up on the list, we've got Daughters of Rin. Man, oh man, this was another great anime. I mean, holy shit, man. This is those rare times where you have an immortal detective story that actually works. They tried doing it in Nightwalker Detective, and I enjoyed that anime a lot. But that anime did have some issues. But with Daughters of Rin, it's just very interesting. It's a very uh let's say this is a very R-rated kind of anime. You know, this is not for the weak-hearted. You know, if you're looking for something a little more extreme, something a little on the erotic side, if you know what I mean, then look no further than this anime right here, right? Um, and you know, you just have this story of Rin encountering all these other characters, especially if they're chosen to be an angel or an immortal or what have you, and her kind are always attracted to the angels, you know, and it's something that they have a hard time resisting. So very, very interesting anime. And another great thing is it has actual stakes. You know, and you're probably thinking, what the fuck? How are you immortal and you have stakes? It's crazy, but it works here. Next up on the list, we have Gungrave. This is another great anime that I have been vouching for a long time now. And I saw this after I saw Trigun a while ago, man. And I gotta say, it's definitely better than Trigun. Like, I enjoy Trigun a lot, but Gungrave? Oh boy. This is some good shit right here. If you're looking for a great mafia anime, if you're into anything that has to do with the mafia, Gungrave is definitely the anime for you. Um, and yeah, you know, it's definitely worth your watch. Has a great soundtrack, man. Such a memorable jazz soundtrack. Um, Animation is stellar here. Of course, Madhouse putting in that work. And that ending too, man. Oh man, that ending was something else. But you basically have this man, you know, on a vengeance, you know, just chasing after this organization, and you're thinking, what the fuck? Well, why is he chasing after them? You know, he kind of came back from the grave, as they say, you know, beyond the grave. So what the fuck's going on? And then you get to see the entire story unfold. You get to see everything that happened in the past connect to the present, and seeing that journey, you know, seeing that connection was amazing. Anyways, let's move on. Next up, we have Interstellar 555. Uh, yeah, this is a great one right here. For my Harlock fans out there, you probably know what this is, but for those of you that don't, this is basically a joint collaboration between Daft Punk and Leiji Matsumoto. And it's pretty much a musical, right? There's no dialogue whatsoever. Everything is uh, shown with the music. It's pretty much like a giant music video at the end of the day, but it works. It's still one of the best musical anime films that I've ever seen. And man, it's just such a tear-jerking story, you know. And I'm not someone that just cries over shit, and I didn't cry when I watched this. But if you're someone that's a little more weak-hearted or a little more sensitive, then yeah, you probably cry to this. But yeah, it's just crazy to see this alien race, you know, trying to enjoy music on their home planet, and then they're just taken from that home planet and they're being used, you know, for other nefarious purposes, and trying to see them escape out of that and return to their homeland was an incredible journey. And to be able to see that just with music, just with imagery, you know, is very unique. You know, there's not many movies that do that. And yeah, this accomplished it greatly. Next up, we have Legend of Black Heaven. This is kind of another musical anime, but not in the same sense. This is technically a comedy here, so don't get it twisted. Now, with comedies, uh, it's a very mixed bag for me. You know, there's a couple exceptions here and there, but usually I can't stand comedies in anime. But this is one of those rare exceptions where I'm like, okay, the comedy actually works here. Like, it's genuinely funny. And it still has a great story to tell. You know, you have pretty much this washed up rock star that's constantly reminiscing of his old days with his band, especially after one of his band members died. And he's trying to, bring that band back together. And he's also trying to, repair his home life, uh, interact more with his kid, his wife, and all that good stuff, as well as saving the world, quote unquote, from a bunch of aliens or what have you, with his music. Uh, so there's some interesting parallels with that, where they're constantly checking in on his mental and what have you. But yeah, it's a very interesting anime and very, very fun to watch. Next up on the list, we have Mazen Kaiser's skill. Woo, boy, hell yeah, man! This is easily one of the best uh Mazinger slash Mazen Kaiser adaptations we've ever gotten. I mean, this anime makes Mazen Kaiser look like an absolute fraud, man. I mean, they go in this anime, man. Boy, this movie right here was something else. I mean, this movie was something else. The Hell Brothers, boy, woo, they don't play. They're gonna fuck you up. Hey, this anime goes back to the classic Go Nagai formula. Uh, and yeah, I mean, if you're looking for something edgy that's actually worth your time, you're looking for all the Go Nagai tropes and what have you in there, then this is the anime for you. If you basically think of it this way, it's Violence Jack mixed with Maz and Kaiser, basically. Right? And it's just amazing to see that. Just an incredible anime. The animation is stellar. This is one of the rare times where an anime in the 2010s actually looks decent, and boy, oh boy, this is definitely one of them. Last but not least, we have Sci-Fi Harry. This was an incredible anime to boot. This is another anime about psychics, but with a very troubled one. You have Harry that's just, mentally not okay up top, and he's trying to work through his own mental issues pretty much. And you have all these characters investigating all these killings from psychics and what have you. It's a very good mystery anime, man. The soundtrack was incredible. The ending was so eerie, man. I'm like, oh my goodness, wow, this is what a real anime looks like, man. I like imagine not knowing what great anime looks like. But anyways, with that being said, that wraps up the list. These are some of the greatest, best of the best anime of all time. So yeah, if you're interested in checking any of these out, I would go right ahead, binge them, pop that DVD in, pop that Blu-ray in, and get ready. Catch it on streaming if you want to do that too. Some of these might be available on streaming somewhere, but most of them I just have in my physical collection because that's what real anime fans do in the first place. They collect physically. But anyways, with that being said, Yuki here, and until next time, I'll see you.